So you're thinking of moving to Columbia, South Carolina, or one of the suburbs and the surrounding areas, such as West Columbia, which we'll be talking about today. In this video, we're actually going to be going over the pros and cons, the good, the bad, everything there is to know about West Columbia. I am particularly partial to West Columbia because I grew up there for the first 25 years of my life pretty well. We'll be talking all about that. Of course, if you stick around, I will give you a little tidbit about me like I always do, and I will give you the biggest pro of all. In the end, let's go ahead and get started. Now, if it's your first time to the channel, you want to know everything there is to know about living here in Columbia and the surrounding suburbs, such as West Columbia, which we again are doing today, go ahead, subscribe below, click the link, and you can be the first to know about the current market here in Columbia every time we release another video. Now, my name is Chad. I've pretty much been here in Columbia my entire life. I'm 51 years old. I'm starting to get old, although I'm still doing many Spartan races, working out, having a blast, just trying to keep up with my kids. But I have been here for a long time, so I know better than most all the areas of Columbia and what it each has to offer. So whether you're moving here in 7 days, 70 days, or even within the next year, go ahead, shoot us an email, text, give me a call. The number in the description below is my personal cell phone number. The biggest thing I want to tell you though about these videos that I do is, yes, I'm going to give you a good bit of information in it, but it's not about that. Look up in my banner and there's a barcode on it. It's my calendar link. Schedule a Zoom call. My business is about building relationships through real estate. It's not about selling real estate. I do not sell real estate. What I do is broker and mediate real estate to help you get the best price for your house, or when it comes to buying, helping you find the house that you want. And we will get it started and make it as smooth a possible process as we can. Let's get right on into it. Pro number one, proximity to Columbia. West Columbia borders Columbia downtown. You are not that far, even though West Columbia has a population of close to 19,000 people, you are not that far from downtown Columbia. My mom grew up going to Baptist Hospital. She was a radiation therapist there. My dad worked right there in West Columbia. They were in the middle of it all. West Columbia, 1894, it was actually known as New Brooklyn because there were so many brooks in West Columbia. It was a commuter town. It did not become called West Columbia till 1936. It's got all kinds of stuff there. It's got the Saluda coming into the Broad where it hits the Broad and forms the Congaree. It borders up against the Saluda and the Broad River. Some beautiful houses that are on the river. You've got that wind, etc. But it's proximity to Columbia. If you're looking for a neighborhood or you're looking to not have to travel that far, West Columbia is great. Pro number two, you're talking about the schools. The schools they're not the best in the Midlands, but they are high ranking up there. I went through, even in your private schools. So many of the private schools, such as Grace Christian, Colonial Christian, Gray Academy, they're ranked very high in education. And many people are starting to pay for their kids to go there. I personally loved public school. I went to Grace Christian 1st through 8th grade, and then I went to public school after that through high school. And I went there more for the sports. A lot of my friends were over there, etc. And my parents did not mind me going to Brooklyn Casey. Since you wouldn't even recognize Brooklyn Casey, I've gone down there a number of times for reunions for friends of mine. Their kids are playing games there. We didn't even have a stadium there. We had District Stadium. But you have airports there. You have Brooklyn Casey's there. Those are your two big high schools. There's some high rankings from Platte Springs Elementary. There's some high ranking elementary schools there, and just some gorgeous neighborhoods, which I will tell you. One of the things, for pro number three, one of the things that a lot of people ask me when they're looking to move here from out of state, even close by or within state, and moving to Columbia, is where are the hospitals? Well, West Columbia has the #1 hospital in the Midlands. It's actually called Lexington Medical Center, and they are higher ranking in most everything. It's right in the heart of West Columbia on 378. It's called Lexington Hospital, but it's in West Columbia. And so many people, you can get straight to Lexington. I even talk about Lexington Hospital in some of my Lexington videos as well. I was there in 2021. I was on a respirator, given about a 10 to 15% chance to live. Lexington Medical Center was at the foremost of COVID at the time. They had a huge room. They had an entire section that was dedicated just to COVID, getting them off of respirators, etc., quicker than just about anybody else out there. But everybody loves that Lexington Medical Center is right there, and it's in the heart of a lot of different shopping and stuff right there on 378. It's just off I-26, which is so you can get to it from just about anywhere through 26. So also, pro number 3, Riverbank Zoo and Botanical Gardens along the Congaree and Saluda. I know you saw me on my Columbia video, my Columbia blog. I was at Riverfront Park, downtown Columbia, and I talked about the zoo there. The zoo itself is in Columbia, but you cross over a bridge to get to the Botanical Gardens that goes right over the Saluda River. It has not converged yet. It goes into Botanical Gardens, which is in West Columbia. And you can actually access the Botanical Gardens also from 378 in West Columbia. So a lot of people get season passes. I am divorced. When I would have my kids on Wednesday afternoons, we would go to the zoo all the time. And they have tons of parties, brew at the zoo, all kinds of different beers and stuff that you can go through and try and still walk through the zoo at the same time. So a lot of people have the yearly membership to that and love going to it. Matter of fact, Keller Williams, who I used to be with, I'm with EXP now, but Keller Williams, we used to always have our end of the year Christmas party at the zoo, which was always a fun time. That's pro number 3. Pro number 4, State Street and Riverwalk. I waited tables at Al's Upstairs, which had beautiful views. Not a huge skyline in Columbia, South Carolina, but you could see over the river into downtown Columbia from Al's. Al's has since closed, but when I went to University of South Carolina, I would wait tables there, had my tux. I was on a motorcycle, drove to work every night in a tux on my motorcycle, and waited tables there for extra money. I also cheered at Carolina, where I was one of the ones flipping around out there, and did cheer camps as well. So I was in the middle of doing a lot of stuff while I was at USC. But Al's Upstairs was known for one of its restaurants. Well, we have a lot of restaurants like that on State Street. You also have Riverwalk, which is about 5 miles right now, really, of where you can walk and run. A small amphitheater out there on the Congaree River, but they are actually increasing how far they're doing that and attaching it all the way to where it goes down to Riverfront and even further down past the zoo, so you can make some incredible runs while if you're running, walking. It's just trails. You've always got the breeze of the zoo there. They have some beautiful homes that are right there on the river. Matter of fact, I have heard rumor, I do not know this, but of course, if you talk about the University of South Carolina, one of the first things that you hear about is our women's basketball team. We have an incredible women's basketball team that Dawn Staley, she just an incredible person. I've heard rumor that she lives in one of the houses there on Riverfront, and that's where she lives because it's just across the river, has access right through there as you go. Pro number 6, and this is not one usually you would I always have this as a con. This is a pro for West Columbia. Traffic. Traffic in West Columbia, you're gonna have during different times of the day, coming home 5 o'clock traffic off of Plattman Boulevard toward Meeting Street, going Platte Springs, going 378. Any of those, you may have a little congestion, but it's not even close to everybody that is on I-26 or I-20 or 77 coming home. Some of the ins and outs of some of your major interstates and roadways of people coming to and from work from the different suburbs that are coming to Columbia and going out. West Columbia, because you're right there close to it, there's just not a huge amount of traffic. When you talk about that, of course, again, a lot of people like being along because West Columbia borders right there on that Saluda and Congaree. They have fishing, trout fishing, canoeing. Now the Saluda itself is the best. They release trout. The Saluda comes all the way from Lake Murray, and when they built the dam there, it comes in, it combines with the Broad, hits the Congaree right around Riverfront Park there in Columbia. But once you hit the Broad River or even the Congaree, they're warmer waters. Now what does that mean? It means, one, when the Broad hits it, there is a higher level of bacteria in there. This could actually be considered a con too. But also, what people don't think about here in South Carolina, we have more gators than what people realize. And the Broad River is a lot warmer, and when it joins into the Congaree, the Saluda's too cold for gators, but the Congaree will possibly have some gators in there, so you gotta be careful with that as well. Now, gators are not near as aggressive as, say, crocodiles, but I don't want to be in the waters with gators. So you can be in there if you want, but I'll stick to the Saluda. And even up in Irmo and Saluda Shoals, Columbia, Irmo, a lot of people will put in there, then put out in canoes, tubing, whatever it might be before it reaches the Broad, or right there where it joins in. A lot of people come in at the Riverwalk there. Pro number 7 are a lot of the homes. The homes in West Columbia, and again, I grew up here in West Columbia. I'll show you all the best places and everything. The next video I'm doing, which will release in 4 or 5 days, will be the West Columbia map video, and I'm going to show you some of the best restaurants around West Columbia, the places to go, the traffic. It centers around Triangle City. Half of Triangle City is Casey, then half is West Columbia. And even in my West Columbia blog, I go around and I show you at Zesto's is just a huge ice cream cone that sits in the middle of Triangle City. That's where a lot of people come from burgers, fries, chicken, ice cream. They have all kinds of cones, chocolate dip cones with nut rolls on them. It's just one of the most popular places in West Columbia. Many of the houses that are in the avenues there, well, a lot of people are redoing these older houses that are in the avenues, and because they're so close to USC, some of them are buying them, investors buying them, renting them out, flipping them, but they're all pretty much ranch homes. They usually have at least 1/4 of an acre on the lot. They're smaller homes, anywhere from, you go as small as 800 square feet all the way up to around 2,000 square feet. People are really loving what they're doing in there with these homes. You're close to Columbia, you're close to Triangle City, you're close to Lexington Hospital, you're close to the river, you're close to even people from Fort Jackson, which is in Northeast Columbia. Even those people, some of them are living right there in West Columbia, just because it's really not that hard to get there to anywhere in Columbia, and not that hard to even get to Fort Jackson there. That's most all the pros, and I'm gonna go a lot more into the map video, but what I also want to tell you is some cons. Now, in typical Chad fashion, when you're looking at all this, don't forget this is all just information, and it's good information, but go ahead and scan the barcode in my subscribe button. Let's get on a Zoom call, 30, 45 minutes, however long we need, and let me find out more about you and tell you exactly more about these areas as to what you're looking in. And I can tell you a whole lot more detail. This is very summarized, and get to know who you are. Hit that calendar link at the top, set up a Zoom meeting with me. Let's go ahead and start about getting you moved here. And again, in typical Chad fashion, the cons of moving here to West Columbia, I'm gonna turn it around to a pro. There's not a lot of cons to West Columbia. It was a commuter town because it's so close right here to Columbia. One of the first cons is there's not a lot of buses around West Columbia. Not a lot of public transportation. Now, these days, of course, you've got taxis, you've got Ubers, you've got all these different things that you can you can get somewhere as long as you got the money to do it. If you don't want to have a car payment, you can do it. But the reason I make that as a con, because a lot of people like to have their own car to get around West Columbia, not just public transportation. Another con would be flooding. Now remember, this is right beside the Saluda coming in, joining with the Broad, coming to the Congaree River. So anytime you're near the river like that, there's luxury homes along the river, there's luxury condos along the river, there's all kinds of stuff, apartment buildings, everything that overlooks these rivers because it's so pretty. With it being the Saluda, now a lot of that stuff comes from way upstate when it floods, like even in the Great Flood of 2015 that we had here. It flooded with all the rain that we had. Then 2 to 3 days later, you almost get flooded again because all of that water is coming from the rivers and they build up so high. Now the beauty of this around the rivers of West Columbia is that with these rivers, remember I told you about, even in my Lexington video, Lake Murray, that's acres upon acres upon acres of man-made lake, that there's all kinds of great fun to do. Well, when they built the dam, which is about 1.75 miles across, now it hardly ever floods on the rivers because they can control how much comes through the Saluda and at what increments it comes through. They know when to release it, when not to release it. So you hardly get any of those flooding things. There's more flooding downtown, and they've restructured those flood zones since the flood of 2015. You just don't have to worry about that near as much in West Columbia. So again, flooding, con number 2, turned into a pro that we don't have to do it anymore because of the Lake Murray Dam a lot of times. There is a limited nightlife, con number 3. Same con as I had with Lexington. Not a lot of nightlife here in West Columbia. There's some country bars. Typical nightlife you do not have. But again, it's a commuter town. It's right next to, it's only 19,000 population, and it's right next to Columbia. So all the nightlife that's in Columbia on Gervais Street, in the Vista, in 5 Points, where all the college kids hang out and everything too. All of that nightlife, the bars from jazz to country, singing, different things, Main Street in downtown Columbia where they have some of these stuff. It's not even 5-10 minutes away. It's just on the Gervais Street Bridge, Blossom Street Bridge. It's just going across the bridge to get to it. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. The last big con is West Columbia does not have a huge amount of malls. I grew up, which Dutch Square is considered Columbia, not West Columbia, but it's just off of 378, close to it, coming off 26, where you get off of it and go up that way, that Dutch Square Mall is. But it's a rundown mall now. It has a huge theater now. They've turned things into other shops and stuff inside, and they've made good use of it. But it's not your typical mall where you have cookie places, food court, there's a Chick-fil-A everywhere. Chick-fil-A is huge in the South, as well as Waffle House. That's a con, that there's not a lot of that type of shopping here. But if you take Highway number 1, get on 26, or from 378, you can go straight up. It's not even 10 minutes up 26, and you can go to Harbison Boulevard, which has Columbiana Mall, and it's got everything in that mall, all the way from Santa to restaurants to games, your typical mall stores that you're shopping. Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, huge food court. All of that is in there. Matter of fact, back when I worked at Verizon Wireless years ago, we actually opened up a kiosk for corporate Verizon inside the mall. And then if the mall's not enough, Harbison Boulevard's got everything from dining to Target to, I think they just closed the Bed Bath & Beyond, but I'm sure something else will open up in its place. There's all kinds of gyms up there. There's all kinds of food. There's the two big movie theaters off of Harbison Boulevard. All kinds of stuff. That was con number 4, and that was my last con, but turning it into a pro. the malls really aren't that far. And if you want to go out to not your typical mall that you walk around, but it's more open, Sand Hills is just up I-20 going toward the Northeast Columbia as well. So you've got malls close that are not too far to go away. Columbia Mall, which is old, off of Two Notch Road. Columbia Mall is just not near as, they don't have near as much stuff either. They don't have the Belks, the J.C. Penney's, that type of stuff. What used to be Sears over there too. All of that stuff's not there, but it's not far away from West Columbia. I grew up in West Columbia. I had a blast. There's always places to do. It's grown up so much. When I was little, just the place around Highway number 1 where I was, it was all woods. I grew up playing there. The last number of years, there's so much there, it's unreal. I mean, from the Walmarts, the Targets have moved in, just all the chain stores and everything, and it's become a regular big city. Now, I said I'd give you the best pro around as soon as it was over. I've given you a little bit of information throughout the video about me, from cheering up at USC to where I waited tables to a number of things. But the biggest pro of all is, once again, coming back to, I have so many people call me through email, texts, phone calls, and mainly through setting up Zoom calls to where I can help even more people out. I can get to know more people and develop those relationships. Some of my best friends have came from real estate alone. Set up a Zoom meeting with me. I can take you inside my computer and I can show you so much more. Get you hooked on a search. We can start looking for your house, or even if you're looking to sell your house, I do that as well. I have 5 listings out there right now and more coming. Can't wait to just see who I get to talk to more. Go ahead, leave a comment. Tell me what you think of the videos. These are new to me, but we are getting on YouTube now, and I'm looking to just build a incredible audience through YouTube to where I can help even more people in real estate. You guys have a good one.